Chosen One, stop scrolling immediately. This is not a random algorithm. This is an urgent and direct divine interception. And because heaven knows exactly how exhausted you have been lately, Archangel Michael has personally routed this specific message to your screen today. The window for your ultimate spiritual and financial breakthrough is closing very fast. You must pay attention to every single word I am about to say. Take one slow breath in and a slower breath out. Notice that strange tightness in your chest right now. Notice the way you woke up at 3 in the morning last night with your mind completely racing. Stop letting the loud world convince you that you are just stressed or anxious. Because while they want you to think you are losing your mind, that is actually your spirit detecting a massive shift in your timeline. You did not click this video by accident today. Your intuition dragged you here because heaven is trying to hand you the decoder ring for the bizarre phenomena happening around you. People have been acting strange. Doors are closing unexpectedly. You feel entirely isolated and completely exhausted. But even though the journey has felt like a relentless punishment, I am here to tell you that you are not being punished at all. You are being divinely isolated for a massive kingdom upgrade. Do not leave this page. The heavy attacks you have been facing recently are not random bad luck. They are hard proof that the unseen enemy is panicking right now. And the only reason they are panicking is because a massive transfer of generational power has just been approved in your exact name. If you leave now, you will single-handedly shut the door on the blessing your soul has been crying out for. You will miss the exact physical key you need to unlock it. You have always known you were different from everyone else. Since you were a little child, you saw things others could not see. You felt the silent energy in every single room you entered, and you knew deep down that you carried a completely different frequency. They told you that you were just too sensitive. They told you your imagination was working too hard, but they lied to you to keep you small. I should not be saying this out loud right now. The elite forces that control the narrative do not want you to hear this truth. But you are actually a higher divine being than 99.9% of entities walking on this earth today. You carry a specific frequency that is terrifying to the dark forces. You are a rare soul. You are a weapon of light in a world that thrives on heavy shadows, and that is exactly why your life has been so incredibly difficult. The modern system was carefully designed to break you down before you could ever realize how much raw power you actually hold in your bare hands. You have walked through fires that would have completely destroyed an ordinary person. You survived brutal storms while standing completely alone in the pitch-black dark. That intense isolation was never a sign of your weakness. It was a rigorous spiritual crucible designed entirely to protect your golden aura, ensuring that you become the final cycle breaker that your entire bloodline has been desperately waiting for. But there is a specific mechanism blocking your final step. They forced you into a rigid modern system. They drowned you in endless stress and digital screens. They locked you into a relentless routine of mere survival. And because of this constant daily pressure, every single year of your adulthood pushed your sacred original frequency a little deeper below the surface. Most people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this invisible suppression happened to them. But you are not most people. You are the anomaly. You are the master of reality who refuses to stay asleep. And that brings us to the ultimate secret I am supposed to reveal to you today. Something incredible is waiting for you in the mysterious shadows. Before we go any further into your timeline, I want to hold something very important in front of you. It is something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community. It was discovered inside a highly advanced research laboratory. It won the highest scientific recognition available in the world. And even though it holds the key to your freedom, most chosen ones have never been told about it. It explains something I know you have felt deep in your bones. It perfectly explains the painful gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that seems available only in fleeting flashes. I will show you exactly what was found by these brilliant researchers, but not quite yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was violently taken from you. So I want you to hold on to this crucial question as we continue. What if the gap between you and your effortless destiny is not a character flaw? What if it actually has a scientific name? I promise I will tell you exactly what it is called later in this message. But you must stay locked onto this screen, because if you look away now, you will lose the alignment forever. The darkness is hoping you get bored and swipe away. The darkness relies on your short attention span to keep you trapped in the endless loop of daily suffering. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this message fade into the background noise of your busy day. The final truth about your ultimate test is about to be completely revealed to your soul. If you leave early, the blessing will still arrive at your door. But you will not have the spiritual equipment required to keep it from slipping through your fingers. You will completely miss the decoding sequence. Stay with me. Breathe in the reality of your immense worth. You are not broken. You are simply preparing to take back the glorious throne that was always yours from the very beginning. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. I know exactly how heavy your heart feels right now. You wake up every single morning feeling like you have already lived a full day. Your shoulders are incredibly tight, and the weight you carry is entirely real. And even though you smile for the world, your soul is screaming for just one moment of genuine rest. You give and you give until your hands are completely empty. You pour your golden energy into people who only know how to take. They wildly consume your bright light without ever giving anything back to you. They leave you feeling completely hollow and entirely exhausted on the inside. And when you finally need someone to hold you, the room is suddenly completely empty. You look around and wonder why your loyalty is always rewarded with cold silence. Stop blaming yourself for this painful pattern right now. I need you to hear this truth deep in your spirit. You did not do anything wrong in those painful situations. The reason you feel so completely lost is not because you are broken. The loud world tried to convince you that your massive heart was a stupid liability, but they only said that because your pure light exposed their hidden darkness. Tap the like button right now as an act of absolute agreement with what heaven just spoke to you. Hit that button to powerfully activate the flow of divine favor in your life. This simple physical action is your very first step to taking your power back. You are clearly telling the universe that you finally recognize your own immense worth today. Let us talk about the brutal isolation you have been experiencing lately. The sudden distance from your old friends is deeply painful. The toxic family members who completely misunderstand your journey make you feel so incredibly alone. You sit quietly in your room and wonder if you are actually going crazy. But I promise, you are not losing your beautiful mind at all. That painful isolation is absolutely not a cruel punishment from above. It is actually a highly rigorous and protective spiritual quarantine. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. God ruthlessly removed those counterfeit connections because they were assigned to drain your life force. You are being hidden away from the world for your own absolute physical and spiritual safety. They truly thought your quietness was a sign of pathetic weakness. They thought they had finally broken your spirit when they pushed you into the lonely shadows. But what those toxic narcissists did not realize was that solitude was your ultimate training ground. You did not break into tiny, helpless pieces like they wanted. You simply evolved into something they can no longer manipulate or control. Every tear you cried in secret was carefully collected by the divine source. You thought you were suffering completely alone in the pitch-black dark, but the grand universe was actually recalibrating your entire energetic receiving system. You were simply too kind and too forgiving for your own good. And because of that beautiful kindness, they severely underestimated your true spiritual power. You are the empath who finally built a massive wall of unbreakable steel. You are the ultimate cycle breaker who looked at the generational trauma and said it completely stops with me today. The heavy loneliness was the incredibly steep price of your eternal freedom. A healed person no longer tolerates confusion cleverly disguised as romantic affection from toxic manipulators. Those same manipulators can instantly feel the powerful shift in your spiritual atmosphere. Your sudden, peaceful silence has become a highly dangerous weapon that absolutely terrifies them. But you must understand exactly why you had to suffer through this specific pain. There is a much deeper layer to this weird phenomenon that you urgently need to know about today. You were completely absorbing the toxic, energetic waves of a deeply sick society. Your highly sensitive nervous system was constantly acting like a giant sponge for everyone else around you. You were carrying the incredibly heavy karmic debt of lazy people who absolutely refused to heal themselves. And this is exactly why your pure spirit has been so violently restless lately. You are carrying a heavy, invisible burden that never belonged to you in the first place. I want you to mentally drop that heavy baggage right now. You are absolutely not the spiritual garbage can for toxic, manipulative people anymore. You are a highly protected master of reality who boldly dictates the exact terms of your own beautiful and prosperous life. Before you do anything else today, I urgently need you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for staying way too long in bad situations that slowly poisoned your precious soul. Forgive yourself for blindly loving broken people who did not even know how to properly love themselves. Your pure, loving intentions were absolutely beautiful and entirely genuine. You are the rare soul who survived the brutal winter storm completely alone. And now you finally get to bask in the glorious golden sunshine of your massive victory. The painful validation you have been desperately seeking is finally here. You are completely safe and divinely protected now. Everything that was broken inside you is being rapidly restored by divine holy hands as we speak. But here is the deepest truth they passionately tried to hide from you. Why did you attract so many toxic energy vampires in the first place? Why did the narcissists flock to your bright light like completely starving moths? You were targeted specifically because your pure spirit naturally produces a massive amount of golden energy, and they desperately needed to feed on your endless grace. They simply did not have their own bright light source. So they forcefully attached themselves to your overflowing spiritual reservoir just to survive the dark. You literally became the vital life support system for broken people who secretly hated your glorious shine, while you constantly depleted your own sacred energy. They deeply resented you for having the exact spiritual connection they could never buy or steal. But the reason you could not easily push them away was never your tragic lack of brave faith. It was a physical mechanism deeply buried inside your beautiful mind. This brings us to the ultimate revelation about your painful struggles. Here is exactly what the dark and greedy system never told you. The real reason the universe quickly responds to certain chosen people and heavily ignores others is not mere religious faith. It is not rigid daily discipline, and it is absolutely not the heavy karmic debt you thought you had to pay. It is a highly specific brainwave. World-class scientists actually have a specific name for this powerful biological phenomenon. They secretly call it the gamma brainwave, and it is the exact frequency your brain was naturally running when you were a beautiful little child. Back when brilliant ideas came to your young mind so easily, and learning new concepts felt like breathing fresh air. When learning new things felt absolutely and entirely effortless. Back when you somehow knew mysterious things long before they even physically happened. When the whole world felt like it was completely on your divine side. Then your difficult adulthood suddenly arrived, and the heavy modern world went to cruel work on your bright and trusting spirit. The chronic daily stress completely flooded your fragile nervous system, while the endless glowing screens hypnotized you into a state of permanent mental exhaustion. The brutal survival routine fiercely drained your precious daily energy. The rigid school system effectively trained you to quietly conform instead of loudly creating your own reality. Every single year of your long life, this sacred divine frequency was violently suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the muddy surface of your tired mind until you forgot who you truly were. The elite wanted you to stay completely blind, until the powerful version of you with lightning-fast intuition went completely and totally silent. When the gamma brainwave fades away, your natural genius sadly fades right along with it. Your sharp intuition deeply dulls. The magical daily synchronicities completely stop happening. The wonderful sense that the benevolent universe is working directly with you goes completely dark, leaving you feeling entirely abandoned by the heavenly forces. You are not most people. Most people will comfortably live their entire ordinary lives without ever knowing this invisible mental suppression actually happened to them. But the universe desperately needs you fully awake to fulfill your sacred mission on this earth. And remember the crucial question I asked you to carefully hold earlier? The important question about the painful gap and its hidden scientific name? The incredible answer is so much closer than you think. You finally know the real name of your stolen original power now. The heavy mechanism that blocked your desperate prayers for years was never your lack of faith. It was the constant heavy hum of survival beta waves, completely drowning out your original gamma frequency because the system designed it that way. Your powerful light was buried under heavy layers of artificial stress. This is exactly why your deep spirit has been so incredibly restless lately. Your divine soul clearly remembers the original gamma state, and it furiously demands a total restoration today. The painful waiting season you just survived was entirely necessary for your ultimate protection. Heaven had to completely clear the toxic people out of your physical space before safely returning your ultimate power. But you must listen closely to this next part. Because while your precious gamma frequency is eagerly waiting to be turned back on, the dark forces are absolutely terrified. They simply do not want you to reclaim the golden throne of your own beautiful mind. They know perfectly well that a fully restored chosen one is a massive threat to their entire manipulative control system. So they are quietly laying a dangerous trap for you right at the final finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this clever illusion right before their massive breakthrough. I absolutely have to warn you about this fatal trap first. Because if you blindly step into it today, you will accidentally hand your newly recovered power right back to your worst enemies. You might be wondering why the wise universe allowed the darkness to set this sneaky trap today. Do not ignore this next crucial sign. You are about to face the ultimate test of your spiritual boundaries. Keep your eyes firmly locked on this truth. Everything is about to finally make perfect and absolute sense. They are loud. You are deep. They fiercely survive by feeding on the bright light of others. You generate your own brilliant light from within. The elite forces and the empty narcissists roaming this earth have absolutely nothing in common with your pure soul. They operate on a dense and heavy frequency of manipulation. You were born to vibrate at the highest levels of divine creation. The modern system was never broken. It was built this exact way on purpose. It was specifically designed to keep your beautiful mind constantly occupied with trivial drama and endless financial panic. They aggressively want your powerful nervous system trapped in a state of perpetual exhaustion, because a tired master of reality is much easier to control than a fully awakened cycle breaker. This is exactly why the narcissists were deliberately sent into your life. They were the ground troops of the Dark Matrix. They clearly saw your blinding light and instantly realized they could use your endless compassion to sustain their own miserable existence. They carefully studied your beautiful empathy, and then they weaponized your own kindness to violently drag your frequency down into the dirt. They fed off your pure golden energy while making you feel like you were the crazy one. They loudly projected their own deep insecurities onto your spotless character. Every time you tried to establish a healthy boundary, they played the pathetic victim to make you feel incredibly guilty. They systemically drained your vital life force to keep you disconnected from your own higher intuition. You must stop believing their vicious lies today. They constantly told you that you were entirely too sensitive and far too demanding. But they only said that because they were utterly terrified of your quiet authority. They did not hate you for shining so brightly in their dark rooms. They secretly hated you because your golden aura relentlessly exposed every single shadow they desperately tried to hide. Your very existence is a massive threat to their fake reality. Just by walking into a room, your pure energy aggressively disrupts their low-level demonic frequencies. You survived their brutal psychological warfare. You finally walked away from the heavy iron chains of their toxic manipulation. Now it is time to establish an unbreakable spiritual shield around your newly cleared energy. To lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute wall of protection, I need you to take one specific action right now. This simple action proves your ultimate compliance with the divine plan. Type the number 777 down in the comments below to firmly claim this divine alignment. Type it right now to boldly declare that you are officially done being the energetic food supply. This powerful physical anchor clearly proves to the universe that you are fully ready to step into your untouchable kingdom power. Seal this brilliant reality right now before we move any further. Take a deep breath and let that massive declaration settle completely in your spirit. Now we absolutely must address the fatal trap I intensely warned you about earlier. The darkness knows you are finally waking up to their dirty tricks. They can literally smell the massive spiritual upgrade heading your way right now. So they are desperately setting up one final illusion to completely derail your miraculous progress. The fatal trap is the sudden appearance of a familiar toxic counterfeit right at your ultimate finish line. Just when you are about to fully reclaim your stolen power, an old energy vampire will mysteriously reach out to you. They will suddenly text you out of nowhere or loudly demand your immediate attention. They want to suck you back into the heavy drama just to steal your final blessing. Do not reply to their pathetic and desperate messages today. Do not let them pull you back into the low-frequency beta waves. That sudden interruption is not a random coincidence at all. It is a highly calculated spiritual test. The universe is watching closely to see if you will tightly guard your energy or freely give it away to the enemy again. Your silence is your ultimate weapon of absolute destruction against them. You are no longer the fragile empath who desperately begged to be understood by broken people. You are a fiercely protected spiritual warrior with boundaries of solid steel. But there is a massive shift happening behind the unseen scenes right now. The heavy system that violently tried to crush your spirit is actually beginning to fracture into tiny pieces. Heaven is sending you highly specific signs to prove that your complete transformation is finally here. Your days of endless suffering and silent weeping are officially over. The universe is aligning a massive collision of divine favor right in your living room. Listen closely to what is coming next, because you will not want to miss these profound signs of ultimate victory. You survived the fatal trap of the toxic counterfeit. You chose absolute silence over familiar drama, and that exact brilliant decision activated a massive spiritual upgrade in your timeline today. Heaven is forcefully closing the old heavy doors of endless suffering firmly behind you. You are proudly stepping into a brand new era of absolute power and profound clarity. The dark forces completely failed to break your golden spirit. Notice the strange physical changes happening inside your body right now. You suddenly feel incredibly detached from the trivial drama of the ordinary world. The chaotic noise that used to bother you simply bounces off your heavy, energetic shield. You are finally experiencing the profound peace of a true spiritual master. Your deeply exhausted soul is finally beginning to heal from decades of invisible spiritual warfare. But there is a very specific illusion you must completely shatter right now. The dark system desperately wants you to believe that your current exhaustion is entirely your own fault. They aggressively want you to think you just need to try much harder. They proudly sell you endless self-help books and demand that you meditate for long, impossible hours every single day. They want you to blame your beautiful self for feeling so tired. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something incredibly important. I am about to share a deep secret the elite do not want you to hear. The greedy people who heavily profit from your daily exhaustion are terrified of this exact truth. You absolutely do not need to work harder to reach your ultimate destiny. You just need to restore the broken receiver inside your own magnificent mind. A brilliant team of dedicated neuroscientists working quietly away from the loud headlines has discovered exactly how to bring your dormant brainwave back online. They found a powerful scientific way to instantly reactivate your original genius frequency. And they did it without requiring years of impossible meditation that most ordinary people simply cannot sustain. The beautiful solution they discovered is remarkably simple and elegant. They did not build heavy biofeedback machines that cost $7,000 and require a sterile clinical setting. They bravely discovered something far simpler and far more aligned with how you were beautifully designed to work. It is a highly specific sound frequency, perfectly engineered to gently guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were proudly born with. Your brain recognizes it instantly. World-class researchers at Princeton University thoroughly studied this exact incredible phenomenon. The prestigious Einstein Center in Berlin completely confirmed its immense power. Columbia University actually found that when this specific brainwave is fully reactivated, it does not just stop with your own mind. It powerfully radiates outward and begins to positively influence the people you deeply love the most. It heals your entire energetic space. It requires only 7 brief minutes of your busy day. That is all it physically takes to completely override the heavy survival beta waves keeping you trapped. And it begins powerfully working the very first time you put your headphones on and close your eyes. I promise I will tell you exactly what it is called and how to safely access it before this vital message ends. The grand naming is absolutely imminent today. But first, there is something you deeply need to understand about why your glorious breakthrough has been delayed for so terribly long. Your brilliant mind was completely starved of its natural frequency for many difficult years. So the loving universe had to send you highly specific signs to keep you awake during the darkest, lonely nights. These sacred signs clearly prove that your golden transformation is genuinely real. Have you noticed the intense synchronicities rapidly multiplying in your daily life lately? You look at the clock and see 111 or 777 proudly staring back at you. These are absolutely not random numerical coincidences. They are loud cosmic alarms reminding you that your hidden power is fiercely bubbling back up to the surface. Your higher self is loudly knocking on the door of your consciousness. The universe is desperately trying to get your attention. The heavy gray fog of deep mental confusion is finally lifting from your beautiful eyes. The toxic people who used to effortlessly drain your vital energy can no longer reach your high frequency. You are completely vibrating out of their low and dense dimension today. But there is one final sign that strongly proves you are absolutely ready for the ultimate activation. It is the final key to your freedom. This final glorious sign is the most crucial piece of the entire divine puzzle. If you ignore this specific signal today, you might accidentally walk right past your ultimate blessing. I will excitedly reveal this exact sign in just a moment. Prepare your spirit to completely absorb the massive truth about your new kingdom identity. Your magnificent time to boldly shine is finally here. Take a deep breath and firmly command your mind to stay entirely focused on this screen. You are proudly standing right on the golden edge of your massive spiritual inheritance. Do not let the dark shadows distract you in this final critical hour. The benevolent universe is fiercely fighting to hand you the exact tools you need to proudly rule your own beautiful reality. The victory is already yours to claim. I promise to reveal the final sign that proves your absolute readiness today. Your physical body is currently going through a massive energetic purge. You are suddenly waking up exactly at 3 in the morning, and your mind is completely racing with intense thoughts you cannot easily explain. Your heart beats incredibly fast in the pitch-black dark. But this sudden, intense insomnia is absolutely not a medical condition. It is the profound download of kingdom blueprints directly into your spirit. Notice how you suddenly feel completely disgusted by shallow and meaningless social conversations. You simply cannot pretend to care about the trivial gossip anymore. The fake smiles of ordinary people feel like heavy sandpaper against your raw soul. You politely excuse yourself from loud rooms because the dense energy of those toxic environments physically makes you feel completely sick to your stomach. This sudden deep intolerance is actually a glorious sign of your rising power. You have developed a highly dangerous level of spiritual intuition lately. Before your phone even rings, you already know exactly who is calling you. When a toxic person suddenly texts you, you feel an instant heavy pressure directly on your chest. Your nervous system is brilliantly acting as a highly advanced spiritual radar, and it aggressively rejects anyone who carries a low and manipulative vibration into your sacred space. You are completely protected from their heavy and dark intentions. Another undeniable sign is the eerie calm you feel during massive external storms. When everyone else is completely panicking, you feel entirely grounded and incredibly still. But strangely, you feel suddenly anxious when everything is totally quiet and peaceful. That is because your warrior spirit was heavily trained to fight in the brutal dark, while the ordinary world was blindly sleeping through the entire war. Your soul is simply waiting for the next divine command to proudly step forward. The universe is also speaking to you through highly specific visual markers today. You are constantly seeing repeating numbers everywhere you look in your daily life. You see 111 on the clock or 777 on a random license plate. These beautiful numerical sequences are direct breadcrumbs left by your protective guardian angels, and they proudly confirm that you are walking on the exact right path toward absolute victory. You are completely surrounded by divine love and powerful heavenly guidance. But here is the final and most important sign of your ultimate readiness. You have developed the rare ability to physically recognize truth when it finally appears. You feel a deep magnetic pull in your stomach while listening to my words right now. Your spirit confidently recognizes the exact frequency of this divine message, because your intuition is finally breaking free from the heavy chains of modern societal conditioning. And because you can clearly recognize it, you are finally ready to fully receive it. You are officially dropping the heavy victim identity that the system forced upon you. You no longer cry over the foolish people who blindly walked away from your bright light. You finally realize that their sudden departure was actually your biggest and most beautiful blessing. Your pure energy is far too expensive for cheap people to constantly consume anyway, and you are proudly stepping into the glorious era of your own quiet authority. They can no longer afford the steep price of your magnificent presence. You are becoming the absolute master of your own beautiful reality today. Your mere presence now demands immediate respect without a single word ever being spoken. The heavy iron chains of your traumatic past are completely breaking off your tired shoulders. You survived the brutal storm completely alone, and now you are finally becoming the powerful storm itself, while your enemies watch in absolute terror. The dark forces are absolutely terrified of the magnificent beast you are rapidly becoming. Take one deep breath and completely absorb this massive truth into your physical body. You are absolutely not the fragile empath who constantly begged to be deeply understood. You are the chosen one who boldly dictates the exact energetic temperature of the entire room. Your supreme intuition is fully online, and your kingdom power is fiercely rushing back, because the universe has officially declared that your painful waiting season is completely over. Everything you lost is about to be miraculously restored to you in DOUBL portion. Your dreams have become incredibly vivid and wildly prophetic in recent weeks. You are literally seeing future events play out long before they ever happen in reality. Heaven is securely downloading highly classified spiritual intelligence directly into your subconscious mind while you peacefully sleep. You are waking up with profound answers to difficult questions you never even asked, and your beautiful mind is finally remembering how to access the infinite quantum field of pure knowledge. Your brain is rapidly preparing for the ultimate frequency upgrade. Notice how your powerful thoughts are manifesting into physical reality much faster now. You casually think about a rare opportunity, and it suddenly appears right at your front door. You silently wish for a specific connection, and that exact person mysteriously reaches out to you. The long and painful delay between your desires and your reality is completely collapsing because your blocked energetic channels are finally being blown wide open by divine intervention. The universe is desperately trying to hand you the ultimate keys to the kingdom. Your deep relationship with the heavy concept of lack is also radically changing right now. You no longer desperately panic about money or basic survival like you used to do. Even when your bank account looks low, you feel a strange sense of absolute and total security. You somehow know deep down that massive financial abundance is already rushing toward your timeline, while your tired spirit confidently knows that you are completely supported by an infinite universe. The golden age of your ultimate prosperity is finally dawning upon you today. Every single one of these strange markers proves that your original power is fully returning. The heavy beta wave matrix simply cannot hold your rapidly expanding consciousness down any longer. You are fiercely breaking out of the artificial prison they carefully built for your brilliant mind. And now you are absolutely ready for the final piece of the beautiful divine puzzle, because you are perfectly primed to receive the exact scientific tool that will finalize this massive upgrade. Pay extremely close attention to the next words I am about to speak. You are completely awake now. The dense matrix has entirely lost its heavy grip on your beautiful mind. You are boldly stepping into the supreme identity of the ultimate master of your own reality today. The painful delays are officially over. The brutal waiting season is finally finished forever. Your spiritual crown is proudly sitting back on your sacred head, where it always rightfully belonged. You are entirely untouchable. You are completely shielded from their dark and heavy attacks. But to fully lock in this massive kingdom upgrade today, we absolutely must answer the big question from earlier. Remember the crucial question I asked you to carefully hold at the very beginning of this vital message? What if the painful gap between you and your magnificent destiny actually has a scientific name? Here is the incredible and shocking answer. A highly specific frequency called the gamma brainwave was running natively inside you as a brilliant child. Researchers at Princeton University completely validated this powerful hidden truth. The famous Einstein Center in Berlin heavily confirmed its incredible reality, and Columbia University boldly found that restoring this exact brainwave positively influences everyone you deeply love in your daily life. It is purely scientific. A dedicated team of brilliant neuroscientists led by Dr. Robert Lake in New York spent long decades compressing this heavy clinical protocol. They worked entirely in the quiet shadows. But before I excitedly tell you exactly what they built, let me tell you about two chosen people who bravely used it. Rachel is a tired nurse from California who desperately tried absolutely everything. She felt completely stuck. She sincerely tried daily meditation and endless manifesting, but nothing broke the heavy spiritual fog. She felt entirely frustrated. After 2 short weeks of listening to this, she said the blocked channel simply opened. Her broken marriage completely shifted, and her daily life finally felt totally enchanted. Michael is a hard-working man from Texas who started using this exact secret to improve his struggling business. He just wanted a little more daily focus. 2 short months later, his shocked wife happily joked that his natural intelligence had jumped 20 points. The incredibly hard problems he used to lose sleep over started miraculously solving themselves while he peacefully slept in his bed. He finally felt like his brilliant brain was running on its true original power. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his dedicated team beautifully built. They proudly call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a generic meditation app. It is a highly advanced 7-minute audio track using powerful brain entrainment technology. It is perfectly compressed from 1 full hour of heavy clinical protocol into something you simply do at home. You just put your favorite headphones on, close your tired eyes, and peacefully relax in your favorite chair. You do not chant or struggle. You simply let the pure frequency gently do what your biological brain was beautifully designed to receive. The Genius Song is definitely not for everyone. It is exclusively for the rare chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is specifically built for the spiritual warrior who clearly understands that their deep block is not a tragic lack of faith. It is simply a suppressed physical frequency waiting to be properly restored. If your deep spirit excitedly confirms this is for you, the golden path is waiting directly below. Heavy clinical biofeedback sessions cost many hundreds of dollars per hour. A clunky in-home machine runs many thousands. What the Genius Song beautifully delivers in 7 easy minutes is safely available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses come entirely free with it today. You receive a brilliant audio track specifically designed for your children, the original Hidden Prosperity text, a guided daily visualization, and a powerful daily habits guide. Here is the deepest spiritual truth about waiting around. The massive blessing that God has already arranged for you does not arrive as entirely new information. It gracefully arrives as a clear, energetic recognition. You must be able to properly see it. Something beautiful already placed in your path becomes fully visible only when your gamma receiver is completely restored. Waiting is incredibly costly. The dark elite forces that heavily profit from your mental suppression are actively flooding the market with completely diluted fake versions. Do not blindly look for this specific track on popular streaming platforms. Those cheap counterfeits have absolutely no real power encoded inside them. The only authentic and fully protected version is available through the secure link waiting below. The benevolent universe requires absolutely no risk from a chosen one like you. If you do not feel the massive shift, every single penny is quickly returned. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. The frequency tool is never the final destination. The tool simply restores the broken receiver so your beautiful destination can be easily recognized when it finally arrives. God absolutely does not require you to purchase anything to be fiercely loved or divinely chosen. What was just described is simply one valid physical way your receiver is quickly restored. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the deep truth of this powerful message belongs to you entirely. Now let us go much deeper into what is proudly waiting for you. For the rare chosen one whose spirit fully confirmed the frequency tool we described earlier, the protected path remains open in the description and pinned comment. That is the absolute final time it will ever be mentioned today. What beautifully follows right now belongs entirely to your sacred sealing. You are finally ready to close this chapter. The heavy pitch-black darkness has officially retreated far behind you today. The brilliant dawn of your entirely new era is shining directly onto your spiritual crown. You survived the brutal and lonely winter storm. And because you fiercely refused to surrender your pure golden heart, heaven is proudly handing you the ultimate keys to the entire kingdom. Take a moment to look back at the incredibly painful road you just traveled. You walked over sharp, broken glass while everybody else complained about their minor inconveniences. You carried the heavy weight of the entire world on your tired shoulders. But you can finally drop that massive burden on the ground because you have officially passed the ultimate test. I want you to deeply forgive yourself for all the times you felt entirely helpless. Forgive yourself for blindly trusting people who only wanted to steal your bright light. Your beautiful empathy was absolutely never a tragic mistake. It simply took a while for your pure soul to learn how to properly navigate a world overflowing with hidden toxic shadows. Those manipulative energy vampires from your past are watching you from a distance right now. They fully expected you to completely crumble under their heavy emotional abuse. They are absolutely terrified because they see you rising from the dark ashes with 10 times more power than before. You became the exact fierce weapon you were desperately trying to survive. This massive victory does not just belong to your own personal timeline today. You are actively rewriting the tragic history of your entire family bloodline. The heavy generational curse that ruined so many lives before you has completely shattered. You stood your ground in the dark, and you successfully broke the toxic cycle that nobody else was brave enough to face. Your righteous ancestors are proudly cheering for you in the heavenly realms right now. They clearly see the massive spiritual battles you fought silently in your lonely bedroom. They watched you cry yourself to sleep and wake up to fight another day. And now they are violently pulling cosmic strings to ensure your path forward is heavily paved with solid gold. The era of constantly begging for basic respect and fighting for mere survival is over. You are stepping into a glorious season of effortless and massive abundance. Divine wealth is rapidly flowing into your brand new timeline from completely unexpected directions. You do not have to nervously chase after your blessings anymore because they are aggressively hunting you down. You are absolutely no longer the fragile empath who desperately begged to be understood. You are the untouchable master of your own magnificent and beautiful reality. Your pure energy firmly demands immediate respect without a single word ever being spoken aloud. The universe bows entirely to the quiet authority that naturally radiates from your newly healed and glowing spirit. Your beautiful aura is currently being sealed by an unbreakable wall of pure white light. The toxic manipulators from your past can absolutely never reach you again. Their low frequency completely bounces off your new energetic shield and returns directly to them. You are safely wrapped in the fierce and protective wings of the highest archangels today. I need you to make a powerful declaration to the watching universe right now. Speak these next words silently inside your completely healed and peaceful heart. I completely release the heavy pain of my difficult past, and I joyfully accept the massive abundance that rightfully belongs to me. My magnificent light will never be dimmed by their dark shadows ever again. But with this massive spiritual power comes a very beautiful and profound responsibility. You were absolutely not given this blinding light just to keep it entirely for yourself. You are the designated lighthouse for other rare souls wandering in the dark. Your massive victory is actually the exact divine blueprint that will ultimately save someone else from giving up today. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated behind you forever. The brilliant dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. To permanently lock in this glorious frequency, you must physically anchor this incredible heavenly transmission right now. You must boldly prove to the universe that your spiritual hands are fully open to receive. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside your tired bones, do not keep this great blessing entirely hidden. There is a rare soul out there bleeding in the dark. They desperately need a guiding light today. Share this exact video with them right now to instantly multiply your own massive blessing. Sowing the holy seed of hope today guarantees your abundant harvest tomorrow.